Hi, we're going to talk today about the most common communication challenges found in the workplace. Effective communications are really the lifeblood of any successful and thriving organization. Poor communications can end up costing a business time and money. The definition of communication, uh, the word originated in Latin and loosely means to make common. And I really like the definition in an article from Integrity Solutions that describes the situation as communication is not something you do to someone, but rather the approach of finding common ground. So we're going to touch on 5 of the most common communication challenges in the workplace because recognition and awareness are the first steps toward improving communications. The first one is inconsistent communications. This can be caused from a number of things. You might be hearing conflicting information just from 2 different areas of the company. Also, a large organization may send out all employee communications via mass email distributions, which does get the information out there in a timely manner, but something can get lost in that transition from the place where those that are involved in the topic and the communication personally have a broader and more in-depth perspective than those of us getting a message digitally. So we may not give it the same level of significance. The second common challenge, is lack of open communications. And this can come also from a number of things. Most commonly is a lack of communications across business functions, which could lead to a siloed effect where each department is operating in its own little world and not sharing information across. Also, top-down organization communication can also leave the door open for that as well, as can anytime we're not hearing feedback and input from all of those folks engaged in the topic of the communication, it detracts from the openness of the communication. Our third challenge that's very common is ineffective listening. And this could be from an audience, employees, or customers. Anyone who might have read the text of Excellence in Business Communications might recall reading about the you attitude, which is really understanding, recognizing, and listening to your audience, understanding how what you're saying may impact them. The same can hold true from not listening to our employees or our customers. So employees, those doing the work, we need to be listening to them when the communication is about that topic. The fourth common challenge is time and efficiency barriers. And this could come from just having limited resources or juggling multiple priorities. For example, if you're a manager and you get 75 emails a day, but you're knee deep in a critical initiative that's happening that's time urgent, you might postpone or even ignore other new communications that come along at that time. So very common challenge in the workplace. And the fifth common challenge are the emotions that come into play. Personal situations, attitudes, and behaviors of each of us affect how we both deliver information and receive information. So, for example, if you're an employee who's got a very sick family member, you may not be engaged in the moment and quite as open-minded and in tune as you might be otherwise. So understanding those 5 common challenges, inconsistent communications, lack of open communications, ineffective listening, timing and efficiency barriers, and emotional barriers all affect positive communications. And recognizing those, being aware of them, set you up to be able to identify the gaps in all of our organizations and come up with action plans in order to address those gaps. So thank you.